Hello, everyone. Welcome to Literary Animator, a place where you study, we animate. In today's lecture, we'll be exploring H.L.V. Derozio's poem, Freedom to the Slave. We'll break it down line by line to understand its meaning and appreciate its powerful message. Before we dive into the poem, let's talk about the epigraph. An epigraph is a short quotation or saying at the beginning of a book or poem, intended to suggest its theme. In Freedom to the Slave, H.L.V. Derozio uses an epigraph from Thomas Campbell's poem, The Pleasures of Hope, and as the slave departs, the man returns. Imagine a person shedding heavy chains and walking into the light, finally able to stand tall and breathe freely. This line is significant because it sets the tone for the entire poem. Campbell's words suggest that when a slave is freed, he regains his humanity. The terms slave and man symbolize slavery and humanity. In essence, slavery strips away a person's human essence, but freedom restores it. This idea is central to Derozio's poem, which explores the profound impact of freedom on a former slave's sense of self and humanity.
How felt he when he first was told? A slave he ceased to be. How proudly beat his heart when first he knew that he was free.
Imagine this scene. A man who has spent years in chains suddenly hears the words, "You are free." His heart swells with pride and joy, beating faster with the realization of his newfound freedom. The poet uses these lines to highlight the emotional impact of freedom, focusing on the intense and personal reaction of the former slave.
The noblest feelings of the soul to glow at once began. He knelt no more, his thoughts were raised. He felt himself a man.
Visualize the former slave standing tall, no longer bowing to anyone. His spirit fills with noble emotions like happiness, pride, and compassion. Freed from the physical and mental chains, his thoughts soar, and he feels truly human again. This transformation captures the essence of reclaiming one's dignity and self-worth.
He looked above, the breath of heaven around him freshly blew. He smiled exultingly to see the wild birds as they flew. He looked upon the running stream that 'neath him rolled away, then thought on winds, and birds, and floods, and cried, "I'm free as they."
Picture the freed slave standing in an open field, feeling the fresh breeze on his face. He smiles as he watches birds flying freely in the sky and gazes at a river flowing effortlessly. These images of nature's freedom, wild birds, running streams, and the breath of heaven, reflect his own newfound liberty. He feels as free as the natural elements around him, which fills his heart with joy and a sense of connection to the world.
O freedom! There is something dear, e'en in thy very name, that lights the altar of the soul with everlasting flame.
Imagine saying the word freedom and feeling a warm, glowing light inside your soul. Derozio personifies freedom, describing it as a force that enlightens and uplifts. This powerful imagery shows how the very concept of freedom can transform and inspire. lighting an eternal flame within the human spirit.
Success attend the patriot sword that is unsheathed for thee, and glory to the breast that bleeds nobly to be free.
Visualize a brave patriot drawing his sword to fight for freedom, and another hero's chest bleeding in the struggle. Derozio honors these sacrifices, praising those who fight and bleed for the noble cause of liberty. This imagery highlights the courage and glory of those who stand up against oppression.
Blessed be the generous hand that breaks the chain a tyrant gave, and, feeling for degraded man, gives freedom to the slave.
Picture a kind person breaking the chains that bind a fellow human, offering a hand to lift them up. Derozio blesses those who feel compassion for the oppressed and act to free them. This powerful image emphasizes the importance of empathy and the noble act of freeing others from tyranny. Let's move on to the historical background of this poem. Freedom to the Slave was written in February 1827 when Derozio was just 17. He was a teacher and an influential figure at Hindu College. Derozio is considered the first national poet of modern India, and his patriotic poetry is a significant part of Indian literature in English. H.L.V. Derozio's Freedom to the Slave is a powerful poem that highlights the joy and humanity restored through freedom. It also honors the struggle and sacrifice of those who fight for freedom and those who break the chains of oppression. Thank you for joining this lecture, made by combined efforts of our team. If you have any questions or thoughts about the poem, feel free to leave a comment. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more literature insights. See you next time.